How did it feel?
Say it again.
How did it feel the first one back?
Good. Obviously, it just felt great. Getting in the team setting, same plays in the huddle, breaking a huddle, getting my eyes on the defense, and then just playing. So felt really good.
Was there a time during this process where you felt like you were going to be ahead of schedule?
Honestly, they gave me a plan. We all sat down, had a plan, and we just stuck to it. And it was just get better every single day. Once we start throwing, here's the set of throws we got. Here's the amount of volume. Here's the intensity. And then just work your way up, see how you feel after every throwing session, and then just go from there. So there's never been a time in my, mind where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to be here. I've taken it literally one day at a time, 1 week at a time, and thankful to be where we're at. So
the process was never accelerated at any point? It was just a plan that you worked?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, right after surgery, it was do the simple things. And then once I got my range of motion back, it was all right, we got a throwing program coming up. Here's how we're going to ease into it and go from there. So we had, like I said, all the doctors. I just want to thank, first of all, Keith Meister, Keith Coker, Ryan Donahue, Ben Peterson, Dustin Little, all the guys here, everyone that's been in the process, Tom Gormelli, Will Hewlett in Florida. Thank you, all the guys. They all played a huge part. We all sat down and had just a great plan. And so shout out to all those guys. And like I said, never jumped ahead of schedule or did anything and try to do anything out of the ordinary. We had really great advice from all those professionals along the way, and slowly got to where we're at and still have a plan to continue to carry out. It's not we made it and we threw and practiced, it's over. We still have some stuff to do. So
At this point, is there anything physically that is bothering you, or do you feel like there are any limitations on what you can do out there on the field?
No. I feel like I'm good enough to play an 11 on 11 football. And so we talked about that when I got back here with Shanahan. And basically I told him, I'm like, hey, I feel good enough and confident enough that if I got into an 11 on 11 situation, I can make every throw. And so that's the conversation that we had. And they gave me the green light to go out there and go. And obviously the medical staff told them, and they've been with me this whole time throwing in the off season. They gave Shanahan the green light to, hey, he's good enough to do it, and they've seen me throw. So we've all been on the same page the whole time. But, yeah, I feel good enough to play football right now at camp, 11 on 11. Still got to work up volume and just continue to get better every day. So, yeah, all the arm angles and everything, yeah, good. Good.
Are you being sore tomorrow, or is that?
Can you say it again? Sorry.
Do you anticipate being sore, and is that a normal process when you just start camp coming in?
So I've actually worked up to this point, throwing back-to-back days. Have a heavy day of throwing, and then the next day maybe tune it down a little bit. But I've worked up to get to this point to where my arm doesn't hurt or anything like that. Yeah, from throwing and stuff, any quarterback would tell you, hey, I'm going to go ice my arm or do whatever with my arm and do treatment on it. And that's where I'm at. And so, yeah, to answer your question, it's not like killing or anything. I'm not going to practice tomorrow or this or that. Arm feels great.
Has Shanahan told you that barring setbacks, you will start week 1 against Pittsburgh?
Say it again, sorry.
Has Kyle Shanahan told you that barring any setbacks, you will start week 1 against Pittsburgh?
No, we haven't had any, kind of conversation like that. It's, hey, how can I be great today at practice? Let's get these reps. Let's get the mental reps, and let's continue to grow. Obviously, what we put on tape last year was great and all, but there's still a lot of areas where I have to grow and get better and stuff. So that's just where we're at. We're not trying to get too far ahead of ourselves.
You've obviously played in bigger stages than a Thursday practice in July, but being your first practice back today, what was this morning like for you? Did you have any nerves and anything like that coming into today?
Yeah, I was excited, So obviously end the year like we did last year. It was heartbreaking and everything, and so just go through surgery, rehab, the off season, everything, and missing OTAs, and so just to be able to get out and say a play to my teammates and break a huddle, like for that, like to me, I was so excited just thinking about that, and so it was almost like last night was like Christmas. You're excited for the next day, and so that's how it was for me this morning and everything, and I was excited to get out there. So yeah, toss and turn just with excitement, but. Slept good.
How did you think it went? You had there was a pick early. I know the other circumstances. A couple of times it looked like you really did cut loose. How did you think that all went?
Yeah, there's just some rust I still got to knock off. I didn't get any, obviously, reps and OTAs or anything like that with 11 on 11, 7 on 7, whatever. Just the pace of the game, seeing a defense, dropping back, going through reads. So Today it was good just to get out there, go through some reads and stuff, let it rip. Obviously I had the interception, but that's something I'm gonna just go in the film room, learn from it, and get on the same page with BA and continue to grow. And so, yeah, more than anything, I was just excited to be able to get live reps. And so,
Would you say the arm strength is exactly the same as it was when you were?
yeah, I like to think so. Throwing go balls and cutting some balls to the sideline, I feel like I have the strength to get it there just like last year. And so I'm going to continue to try to develop my arm and get it stronger and stronger and go from there. So.
When you went to Jacksonville just a couple weeks ago, what was that process like? And were there certain hurdles that you wanted to achieve on that trip to help you get back to 100%?
Yeah. I think when I left and went there, it was more, hey, I got to pick up the intensity. So with these throws, we might not get a lot of throws like I did back here in San Francisco, but when I go there, let's pick up the intensity. Let's start ripping some stuff. And so that's really what we focused on. And there was days where, man, it was like, yeah, my arm was, fatigued, and I had to just continue to build up my strength when I was in Jacksonville. And so when I left and came back here, I felt like I was in a great spot, being able to throw back-to-back days and all that kind of stuff. So that's really what we focused on, was being able to throw back-to-back days just like practice when we get into camp and into the season and stuff. So definitely, like Tom Gormelli, Will Hewlett, those guys got me right. And when I left, it felt good.
Speaking of those two guys, Tom Gormelli and Will Hewlett, I know you've been working with them for a longer time. What have they meant to your development?
Yeah, I feel like leaving college, going into the NFL last year, I feel like I just had to, obviously improve just whatever, like I needed to develop into a quarterback, like a real true professional quarterback, and those guys did that for me, breaking down my mechanics and how to be efficient with, my hips and my shoulder, everything. And then obviously being able to be savvy as a quarterback. Will did a great job with some drills and stuff to help me get to that point. And so I feel like they were the beginning stages of developing me and getting me ready for, last year, my rookie year. So going back this year, I didn't have a real off season in terms of developing myself just because I was rehabbing my arm. So those 3 weeks away to get back with those guys, we were able to dig into some great mechanics and get me better. And so that's what they did.
Caveat that you haven't had that real off season. How different is it coming in here as QB1 versus last year?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at the reps compared to last year, I had, basically 2 reps at the end of each period. So I didn't have that many reps, and then I was able to go into the preseason and get some reps. But now coming in, being able to get a lot more looks on the defense and sort of, take command of the huddle and stuff, like for me, it feels a lot better. I feel more comfortable with the playbook and everything. But being away, not getting the off-season reps and OTAs, I just got to get back into that kind of state of mind where, hey, bullets are flying. I got to go here, here, here with my progression and sort of just get sharp again with that. So, but it feels good.
Today call for you to take those deep shots.
Can you say that again? Sorry.
Did the script today call for you to take those deep shots down the right sideline, or was that going through your progression?
No, that was just part of the read, depending on what the defense was doing, where I was going to end up throwing. So they gave us some man looks and just let it fly. So.
Mental side of the game did you do during your rehab, and take us through like just a typical day coming back?
Yeah, obviously you wake up, take all the right supplements for your arm and everything, and then you go and do your rehab, and then you work. So I still worked out my body, did everything just with my body itself, not just my arm. And then I come home and get into the playbook, watch some film, break down stuff that I could have done better last year. Just a couple hours of that, and then still try to do a little bit more treatment after on my arm. And then honestly, like sleep, just getting really good sleep. I know it sounds cheesy, but that I think is a game changer in terms of, getting back from an injury. So I just try to do every little thing right. And then over, the first 2 months, I started seeing like, oh shoot, I feel really good. And so I've just been trying to maintain that and get better. So.
After those deep throws, do you put the overthrows, do you attribute it to just maybe being a little bit more amped up than usual, or maybe just hadn't had time to work with the chemistry of your receivers?
Yeah, that was for those 2 go balls, one to Javon and then the other to Debo. I haven't thrown a go ball to them all off season, so I just got to get on the same page with them and everything. Yeah, obviously being out there for my first day, I wanted to let it rip and all that, but it felt good coming out of my hand. I just got to get on the same page with them and get more reps. So.
Immediate aftermath when we talked to you, you talked about your faith and how that gave you perspective. But I mean, were you part of you scared that you either weren't going to be able to be the same quarterback, you wouldn't have the arm strength? I mean, this would really be a career-threatening injury. Yeah,
For me, it's like I said, however many months ago that was compared to now, it's been the same. I know who I am in God and in Christ, and I'm not going to let any other kind of circumstance, if I'm the starting quarterback or the backup or whatever, I'm not going to let that determine who I am as a person. And so that's what my identity is in, and there's nothing that can come my way to get me to act a certain way and think I deserve this, I deserve that. I am, who God has called me to be, and I let everything else fall into place. So, thanks, guys.
I mean, no emotion. It's football, Obviously, we're all happy to see him back. Happy to know that the surgery was successful. He's 100%. More so than a teammate, he's a family member of us, so his health is always first. But, yeah, to answer your question, everybody's excited whenever we can get anybody back from injury.
I don't know how much you knew about that surgery he had, but were you surprised at all that he's ready to go at the opening of camp?
No, I wasn't surprised. I talked to him a little bit over the break, so I kind of knew everything was looking pretty good. So.
What does mental state seem like throughout the whole process?
He seems like Brock. Brock is got a rock solid mental. He's doesn't get flustered very easy. So he took the whole process like a champ. Nobody could tell if he was going through anything. We couldn't tell. I couldn't tell personally.
I mentioned the other day that even if Brock was limited, he's still going to get a lot more reps during this camp than he did last year. Are you intrigued to see how much better he can be with getting those reps? And what kind of do you expect from him?
I mean, obviously, you would think experience, 1 year experience, would play a major role in his development. So he got some, priceless experience, especially in some very key games, some big games. All season, he played fantastic. So I think, we should expect better. Obviously, from every player in year two that played a lot of football in year one, you would expect them to take a jump because of the experience.
How did you spend your 40-day break? Did you work with any of the younger guys
Yeah.
A year ago?
Yeah, for sure.
Leroy Watson, one of the guys that you've been
Yeah, me and Leroy, we locked in. He come to me for a lot. He definitely one of those little brothers. We kind of got the same, physical makeup. He's an athletic guy. Former tight end, has a quick feet. So, I do spend a lot of time talking to him about a lot of things. Him, Jalen, obviously Colton, Spencer. We spent a lot of time over the off season, like working out shoulder to shoulder. So, I expect him to make a huge leap this year as well. So yeah, but it's always a fun time for me to work with the younger guys, and kind of keeps me engaged, especially during my off time. It challenges me to be a better player because I obviously got to practice what I preach. And so I like it. I enjoy it.
Watson's obviously making that transition, or has made that transition from tight end to tackle. What do you see from him in that regard? And do you see the potential to be a player in this league?
Yeah, of course. His ceiling is extremely high. Like you said, he made the switch about a year ago. So he's still new to the position, but he's an intelligent player. Like I said, he has all the attributes. He actually, put a little weight on this summer, so he'd be a little bit more sturdy. Kind of had a slight frame last year, obviously coming over from tight end. But I think he's used all this time to his advantage. He's worked, and I'm excited to watch him go out there and play.
What strikes you about blocking Cleveland Farrell and then Drake Jackson in the second year?
What strikes me? Cleveland obviously, he's a vet. Played a lot of football. Both of those guys are, very athletic, very slippery guys. I think, they should do big things for us this year, especially obviously we know what to expect out of Cleveland, but Drake, just seeing his transformation, seeing, the muscle he put on over the off season, seeing his attention to detail, I think we're all kind of excited to see him going full speed, especially with 97 getting a lot of the attention pretty much every play.
Where specifically is Spencer better this year versus when you were working with him his rookie season?
Just mentally, knowing what to do. Like I said, when you're in this offense, it's very intricate, a lot of details. The scheme is very, very, it's very hard to grasp for new players. And it takes a time. It took me 3 to 4 years from my rookie year. I didn't catch on until about my third or fourth year. And I thought I knew it. Come here, I had to catch on again. So to me, obviously his physical traits, he's going to get bigger and stronger every year. But the mental part, him knowing what to do so then you can worry about what's in front of you. When you're a young player, you're worrying about what you have to do, and, you can't even assess what's in front of you because you don't even know. It's kind of because a lot of words, a lot of the play, it's really tough, and it's to be able to come in and start as a rookie and play meaningful downs like he did, I think it's a hat off to him. But now you ask me the difference, I think it's the experience and the know. He know what he's doing so he can be more assertive.
When you work with him,
These younger players, what can you learn from them on the mental side of things? What do they teach you?
The hunger, just seeing how hungry they are to learn, seeing how hungry they are to get better. It rubs off on me. That's why I say I like it because it allows me to stay locked in and it holds me to a higher standard.
Trent, you've been complimentary of Colton in the past. He steps into a big role this year. Tell us what you like about his game and what he needs to do to have success this year.
I think he needs to do everything he's been doing. I think that's the reason he's in this position, is because he's earned that trust from the staff, over the last few years. He deserves it. He deserves it. He's put in the work. Every year he's been presented with a challenge coming into camp, whether it was fighting to make the roster, fighting to make the practice squad at first, make the roster last year and then have to, due to numbers, had to go on the practice squad for a few weeks, bring him back up, start a few games. Like he's been through it all. He's been through pretty much every situation you go through, and except for starting, being a day one starter. And now that's his position. He's earned it. We're proud of him. He's a phenomenal player. The confidence that he plays with, in my opinion, allows him to play at a high level. You talk about what you can learn from those guys. I think learning from him, what I learned from him is his confidence, his unwavering confidence in his ability to block whoever, and when you're playing O-line, your confidence it's like a roller coaster sometimes because it's only one play can define how people look at you, for the entire season. So it's a very, it's a very peculiar position to be in when you kind of skating on thin ice every play, right? So to me, his confidence and his physical stature, his attributes, his ability, his lower body strength, upper body strength, I think it all plays a part to why he's in the position he's in right now.
It seems like
You've been last two.
you're playing at a level maybe as good as you ever have the last couple of years. I don't know if you'd agree with that or not. But when you look at your birthday, it almost doesn't seem like that should be possible. How have you maintained and gotten better at an advanced football?
Just never settling, right? You make 10 straight Pro Bowls. A lot of people would say, I put together a good resume. But, for me, I never really look at it past 1 year. I look at last year, and then my whole goal is to be a better player than I was last year. And next year, I'm going to look at this year and want to be better. And to me, that's the only way you can continue to ascend or continue to play consistent. It's so easy to feel like you know it all, to feel like you got it all, and that's when you get humbled in this game. So for me, it's always been to keep going forward, not worry about the review, not worry about what I've done in the past, all about what I'm trying to do in the future. And to me, I think that's a simple blueprint to kind of keep yourself motivated and staying in the now,
Yesterday, Kittle was talking about how you guys who are kind of the nucleus that have been here for a while are well aware of, the window may not last forever, right, to get over the hump and win that Super Bowl. How much do you guys talk about that? How does that kind of consume you as you prepare for a new season?
Well, how long the window lasts?
Yeah, just to get.
I don't worry about it.
To win the Super Bowl.
I mean, the Super Bowl is at the top of everybody's priority list right now. Worrying about when the window closed really does nothing for us right now. It's like worrying about when you're gonna die, right? It's gonna close eventually, but what's the point of looking forward to it, right? I'm coming in every day and just work how I did yesterday, and just look forward to getting 1% better every day. And eventually, you want to hold up that trophy. And if it doesn't happen, you reset, recalibrate, approach it the next year with the same mindset.
Thanks, Trent.
Yeah. See ya.
A couple practices into it. Is your role here very different than it was in Philadelphia? Is it very similar? How would you describe that?
It's a different type of defense that I play in Philly. I guess it's more of a 4-down front instead of switching to a 3-4. And I was kind of playing a 4-eye, and I was still playing a 3 and a 2-eye in Philly too, but I was doing a little bit more.
Javon, how are you a different pass rusher than you were when you were at South Carolina State? How has your rush progressed as a veteran?
I think just being in the league, you just pick up on things from playing with some great defensive lines and great defensive coaches. I just kind of take a little bit from everybody and kind of just keep trying to progress and keep getting better and improving my game.
Steve Wilkes was just in here and said he's never worked with a group like this where if one person comes off the field, the next one goes in and there's no drop-off at all. Do you feel that same mentality, that same feeling towards your defensive line?
Yeah, I know we got a real talented defensive line, but like you said, I done played against with some great defensive line, and it's just we up there with all the people I done played with before. So it's just good to come in and seeing so much talent around me and just trying to bring what I bring to the table.
What was it like lining up across from Brock Purdy, not in the NFC Championship?
I mean, it was cool. It's a different feel now with these being my teammates, so I can't really hit him anymore. So it's a little different nowadays.
You guys, there's still some kind of back and forth between Niners and Eagles about if we'd had our quarterbacks, we would have won, and all that stuff. Do you talk to your new teammates about that game at all, or is that just a subject you stay away from?
Yeah, I don't really talk about it because I'm over here now, so I can't really talk about what happened last year. So I don't even say nothing about that game.
Now that you've got to play for him for a little while, what's been your observations of Coach Kasurek?
He's very passionate at what he do, and he really just wants the best out of everybody. So he's just somebody who kind of motivates us before practice and just try to bring everything he got and making us better.
Have you gotten to know Javon Kinlaw at all, and what do you think about his game? I know he's a different sort of player than you are, but he's impressed the coaches so far this offseason.
I met Javon like a few years ago, so I knew him a little bit before I got here, but he's a freak and football standpoint, just big, strong, and fast, and you can just see he got a little hunger about him this year, and just out there working to improve his game every day.
Why or how did you meet him a couple years ago?
Mutual friend. We was like at the same little house. My best friend and he knew my best friend. Just so happened to run into each other that COVID year.
You've been described as very humble. You don't seem like you beat your chest much. Where does that come from? I mean, is that an influence you've had in your life? Is it just the road you've taken to get there?
I think that's just the way I was raised. I don't know. I don't really try to think too high of myself. I just know I can always get better in things I've been doing. So I always took that approach to keep my head down and keep working, and it's just how I go about my days.
That's the personality of the entire defensive line. Is that part of the reason why you feel like you fit in so well here?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of hardworking guys. Ain't really too big of egos. Just everybody is one, and that's kind of how our coach kind of taught to us. So it's kind of that with everybody.
pass rush, you know, you have a classic pass rush look to pad level. Is that just, you just get lower? Is that how you would say you get your pass rush going?
I got a little bit of everything, but I think my leverage definitely helps me a lot. Just being able to get under some of the bigger guys and just use it to my advantage.
I think when you signed here, you mentioned that this gave you the opportunity to get the contract, but also go to a place that wins, which was unusual. They've been really close, haven't been able to get over the hump 3 of the last 4 years. How much do you just kind of feel being here, the sense of urgency to get over the hump and win?
I think that's what everybody really talk about around here is trying to get to the big game and win it. So I just come in, just being there last year and losing that, I just want the same thing that they want and just come out here every day with that same approach.
Anything else for Javon?
Thank you.